Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. For those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always, double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to talk about how to raise $100,000 in personal credit funding for investments. So you may have a real estate flip that you're trying to get access to, or you may be trying to play the cryptocurrency market, or you may be trying to buy precious metal, whatever you're trying to do. Now, understanding that when you maxing out on the personal side or going over that 30% utilization on the personal side, it does bring down your credit score. And the thing about it, when you're trying to raise $100,000 in funding, these are lenders that I'm going to tell you we're not going to use our FICO 8 scores, okay? We're going to focus on our FICO 9 scores, so that means that we're not going to go to our traditional banks and everything, okay? My rabbit is trying to get comfortable, so just one moment. Now, first, our community thing. Hey, if you have family members that are financially struggling and stuff like that, here's some places that you may want to have them to look for some free money. Okay, you have unclaimed.org, you have missingmoney.com, you have class action lawsuits, you have a child care development fund, and then you have low-income home energy assistance programs. So again, in these trying times, a lot of people are struggling, to get the bills paid and stuff. And a lot of people are not aware that there's still free money out there. So if you got family members or if you're struggling and stuff like that, these are definitely some places you want to check out to see if you possibly can come up on some money, all right, to help you pay your expenses. Now, that being said, if you have a low FICO 9 credit score, a lot of times we don't know what our FICO 9 credit score. And one of the things that I tell you is that you really should learn how to build a stronger relationship on the FICO 9 side because it gives you more leverage, right? Especially with fintech companies. So a few things that you want to do to build up your FICO 9 credit score. Again, we're focusing on FICO 9 and not FICO 8 because those are the traditional banks. We're going to go with our fintech companies and a couple of credit unions to get that $100,000, okay? Because I think it'll be much easier that way. Now, you have a Grow Credit, you have Perch. So if you have any subscriptions, you can sign up with these companies. Don't forget like your car insurance, gym membership, things of that nature. You can sign up and they'll report those type of trade accounts on your personal credit, help boost up your FICO 9 score. Then, of course, you have you have pledge loans and credit builder loans that would also help boost up your FICO 9 score. Then you have Experian Boost. Now, removing inquiries. This is one thing, guys, I would definitely tell you to really pay attention to. And I'm going to tell you a secret, just one moment. Now, also adding authorized users on FICO 9, it definitely would help. FICO 8, not so much. It's not going to help, but FICO 9, definitely. Then if you have, if you're using your debit card a lot, then you want to possibly sign up with Extra Debit Card app or One Financial so they can report all your debit card transactions. Now, also, with Boom Pay and Rental Karma, okay, those are going to help you report your rent, okay, to help boost up your credit score as well, all right? So those are some things that if you're trying to focus, again, we want to focus on our FICO 9 scores, okay? Now, one of the bigger things I always tell you in terms of with the fintech companies, all about the relationship, because fintech companies they don't have the bank accounts and the bank accounts and the savings accounts and everything. So in terms of on your regular business bank accounts and stuff, just make sure you have good deposits. Now, here's another thing you must know when going after fintech companies and trying to get higher lines of credit. This is very important before we jump into this, because your income. So if you have a spouse that's working, you need to include her income. If you have a roommate that's helping pay the bills, you need to also add that income. If you're retired and you're renting out a room, you need to record that income. If you retired, you got annuities, retirement accounts, also you need to add that as income. All right. Now, that being said, one of the first lenders I would possibly look at is Avant. Now, Avant, they loans go from $2,000 up to $35,000. Their debt to income ratio is very high. The reason that, again, we're looking at fintech companies, because the banks, their average DTI may not go over 50%. So this here, if you just have a high debt to income, but you have good payment history, good credit score, and stuff like that, you're still able to get a decent amount of funding from these type of fintech companies, okay? Especially when you're trying to raise $100,000 for investments. So that being said, again, with Avant, they're offering $2,000 up to $35,000. Now their average DTI is, and these are just data points, so you be aware, their average DTI is about 30%. Okay, you do have to have an active bank account, phone number, email. The average credit score is a 644. Now, again, soft pull on your credit, so you don't have to worry about the hard inquiry. But that's just the average credit score, 644. Now, your annual income is usually, they want you to at least be making about $20,000 a year. And so broken down, some people said maybe about $1,200 a month, okay, in income in order to qualify for a loan from Avant. Now, you have Upstart personal loans, and again, very good company, because they're not focused on the credit score. Granted, they do a soft pull on your TransUnion FICO 9, but they're more like how long you've been on your job, what's your income. You know, again, the DTI for them is about 70% as well. So you can have a high DTI, just making sure that I would try to, if I can, I would try to make sure that my DTI is at least about 50 just to be safe, okay? But if you're at 70, that does not disqualify you. Now, understanding their loans go from 1,000 up to 50,000. They operate in all 50 states. A lot of people are very happy with them because it makes it much easier to get funding. And their gross annual income, the minimum, is about $12,000 a year, okay? But you do have to have a valid email, phone number, and bank account. Again, we're showing you these here accounts because we want to backdoor everything to raise $100,000 for those investments. Now, you have credit loan. Again, another lender that's not focused on the credit, but they go from $250 up to $40,000. Now, if you have bad credit, it's $5,000, but I just told you how to boost up your FICO 9 score or whatever. But it's really not about the credit with them. Their main thing is, again, how long you've been on the job, how long you've been at your residence, what's your DTI, debt to income ratio, okay? So looking at just a few of those lenders and stuff, you're trying to get to that 100,000. So even if those lenders are giving you anywhere from 5 to 15,000, again, leveraging your FICO 9 scores, it's much easier to raise the capital you need. Unfortunately, with credit loans, they don't operate in New York and Connecticut. Now, you have Upgrade. Again, Upgrade minimum credit scores of 560, average is a 678. Now, the average income is about $78,000, but that does not mean you have to show that you're making $78,000. It does help the higher the income, better the opportunity. But their loans go from $500 to $50,000. Again, a lot of these lenders, using multiple lenders, you don't have to stress over trying to get a whole lot of money. Even if if you're getting from $5,000 to $15,000 from each of these lenders, you're cool in the game, right? Because it's definitely going to put you at the closer to that $100,000 to raise on the personal side. Now, unfortunately, their situation is that they don't operate in Colorado, Idaho, New York, Vermont, Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. But the good thing about it is their DTI is 75%. That's very good for a company to be willing to work with you. As a fintech company, no hard pull on the credit file, okay? Now, you also have the X1 credit card. Now, the X1 credit card states that it gives you 5 times the traditional amount. The traditional credit card gives you about $5,000 on the Visa signature. So multiplying that, so their average is about $24,300. Okay, so that's the reason we threw this in there. No impact on the credit score. Average credit score is a 670. But hey, again, focusing on the FICO 9, Experian FICO 8, it can lose about 3 points or whatever, but I'm almost certain that you wouldn't get that inquiry unless you actually accept the card. But again, it's just leveraging to be able to raise as much capital as possible. Now, you have Navy Federal. For those of you that are able to get into Navy Federal, I made a video in terms of the easiest Navy Federal cards and which one you want to start with. And of course, that's the Navy Federal Cash Rewards, because it is a Visa signature card and it starts at about $5,000. But you have to be a member. The good thing about it is FICO 9, and then after 91 days, even if you get the $5,000 after 91 days, you can credit line increase. But hey, $5,000 starting out to help you get you closer to that $100,000 in funding for your investments is definitely where you want to be. Then you have the PenFed Power Rewards, okay, starting at $5,000 and up. Of course, you have to become a member. The good thing about PenFed is anybody can join, so you don't have to go through all of the backdoor stuff that you have to do with Navy Federal if you're not military related, right? But they do pull FICO 9, which is cool, okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a more detailed video about PenFed, because PenFed does show a lot of love in terms of helping you getting funding and stuff on the personal side. Unfortunately, they don't offer things on the business side. But on the personal side, they're very generous, especially for those of you that may be trying to raise $100,000 because you're trying to buy cars to be on Toro, or again, you may be trying to get a real estate investment flip, or you're trying to take advantage of the stock market and stuff. Whatever type of investments you're doing, again, they're very generous in terms of helping you get the amount of funding you need. And the cool part about it, it is FICO 9 score, all right? So for those of you that may have questions about business credit, personal credit, what you can do is click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation so that you can talk about business credit funding, personal credit funding. Thank you.